they have written and recorded a song for Michelle Boucree. Many of you will remember Michelle passed away on November 11th of this year. She had leukemia, needed a bone marrow transplant. Actually, it was November 12th, I'm told. Anyway, this Grandfunkiest Northwest Game has written and recorded a song in the memory of Michelle Boucree. The name of the song is called BloodOath, and we're going to take a listen to it right now, and then we'll come back.
Our students are high risk, but I feel like they're the best of the best. That they come from all the different schools, and what we get are all the artists, all the comedians, all the geniuses of various sorts. We get the independent students, the rebels, the individualistics, the social group. We just get a very interesting mixture. One thing is that they're all poor, and poverty tends to drive them into our school. They're high risk, they're gang impacted, they're a challenge.
Teacher, teacher, tell me how you did it. School me for this game, and I publicly admit it. Wasn't for your wisdom, I'd probably be in prison. Almost millions of victims of this cold racist system. You've always remained truthful to your pupils. Labeled as geniuses when they said we had no scruples. Taught us that knowledge was the weapon that they can't confiscate. And the best defense against senseless wars of hate. Strong black soldier in the struggle, Michelle Boucree. Kinda ironic you would pick away the special thing. Your student troops will never be defeated. Of course we feel cheated, cause your leadership's needed. You say one life to live, kid, ain't no half step. Tell me why you had to die for me to learn the lesson, unanswered questions. If I go to second guessing my skills, you end the earthly your books so hard to instill to this at-risk student that the cops want to kill. I saw my life on the line to make the dream be fulfilled. You turn fighters to writers, drug dealers to readers, night crawlers to scholars, on the way to be doctors. Chop and tear, I'm burning barrel for the students of the underground. Ain't no one gonna hold us down, my people is a worry now. Can't retain it urban legal or word the most. Guaranteed to keep her name and dream alive on this coast, and that's a blood oath. That's a blood oath. We love you, yes. I remember when we used to act a fool back in school. It was cool like you and Lori Arnold broke down the rules. Our self-respect with reality checks of this cold world. And how nothing will be given while we living. If we don't get our coats, we'll be shivering. America don't care about the poor, quivering children. Gotta refuse to break, damn an excuse to make. Learn to make ends, don't bend over past mistakes. Just set trends and make goals. Put your pockets on swole. Let these black haters know there's some gay to be sold. So in case you didn't know why this lady's important, please come down to Urban League, and that's the dominant fortune. I'm breaking down in plain English when my statement is finished. Got some love you consider, no less dispatch or printed. Now you got the option to do it top guns. The spirit of Miss Boucree students will make the cops run with knowledge for ammo. One false move and it's blammo, cause we may be at risk, but we dead shall we sample. We coming through like we ramble, the hostile and commando. Fake GIs and soldiers in a war against cobras. Miseducation to the average youth is finally over. And in case you didn't know, these lyrics probably told you about the lady from Egypt, this here town of the most. Guaranteed to keep her name and dream alive on this coast, and that's a blood.
You're just a kid in the man in the game. Why did you take our love away? We love you, yes.
That's a blood.
Love you, yes.
Dear Mr. Duke, after reading a column in the New York Times about blacks not being confident or being responsible citizens, I was compelled to respond. You seem to put all blacks in one negative category. According to your census of black people, you are certain blacks are chargeable of being criminals for the characters in the coffin. Part of my colloquial manner, but confidentially, you and those who have concurred with you are bad at racist dum-dums. I can't conceive how anyone could conceive with you. You should be more cautious about what you print. If you check your chronicles, blacks were not the ones who kidnapped, murdered, raped, and bombed entire nations with no concession. Affirmative action does not compensate for the greatest crime in history. The world is changing, and blacks are no longer your chauffeurs, but your competition. If you are not changeable, you will be left behind, and I will be one in a million to receive my graduation certificate and challenge your racist beliefs. There will be a new commencement in America, or combustion, for the year 2000. Sincerely yours, Dominic Fortune, the infamous Game Unchained.
Love is the key to remain in the game. Why did you take our love away? Love you makes me pray. Love you makes me pray. Love you makes me pray. Love you makes me cry. Love you makes me cry. Love you makes me cry.
A Grandfunkiest production, World 1, J-Dub the Hot Sauce, Double OZ, the Beats, the Ring. To the Urban League Academy, Evergreen Downtown Campus, Melanie Cunningham at Y104.9, Northwest Dispatch, Lori Arnold and the Tacoma Empowerment Zone Committee, Abe Cortez, Kelly Selby, and the active leaders of tomorrow. All leukemia researchers and bone marrow donors, and all family and friends of the Honorable Michelle Boucree. Much love for all of the above. And take game. Don't look where you fell. Look where you slipped. Oh yes, son, the game is unchanged. $14.95, you too can subscribe. Keep it secret when you speak it.
Love you makes me cry. If knowledge is the key to remain in the game, why did you take our love away?
War date November 11, 1998.
We came out on top. We came out to be the best students ever, the best students ever, the best social service building that ever was. And I'm extremely proud of you. You came through, you did your work, you showed up. Rain, sleet, or snow, hungry and poor. We're very proud of you.
Okay, I tell you what, that was wonderful. Grandfunkiest Northwest Game is in the studio with us today, and Dominique Fortune, I know when I was talking to you before the show, you had the pleasure of knowing Michelle Boucree.
Yes, I did.
And let me ask you, after she passed, how did this come about, this song? Was this in the works before she passed, or is it something that came about later?
Well, it was in the works before she passed. Lori Arnold, the project manager of Tacoma Empowerment Zone Committee, and was talking to me about writing a song to encourage bone marrow transplant to help save her life. It was originally supposed to be a song to save her life, and it never got into play because she passed away too quickly. So, I figured, I got with J-Dub, the Hot Sauce, Woods, and Royal One, Grandfunkiest, and figured, if we couldn't save her life, we could at least save her dreams and what she stood for and keep her name alive.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I must tell you, listeners, we also have in the studio part of Grandfunkiest Northwest Game is J.W., the Hot Sauce.
Yeah,
how you doing today?
I'm all right.
And also Woods, how are you?
How y'all doing?
And I need to just, I'm going to go off here for just a moment. J.W., the Hot Sauce?
Yes, I am.
How did this come about, the Hot Sauce? Help us out here real quick.
Hot Sauce came about, we was kind of joking around, and the hot sauce bottle was sitting on the table, so I decided to take my initials from my name, eventually James Wright, and I sort of added the hot sauce next to it, and J-Dub being my initials, and threw the hot sauce, and they kind of liked it. It was kind of...
Put the hot sauce in the mix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now how long... Grandfunkiest Northwest Game. Can somebody tell me how you came up with that name?
Well, from Future Dreams to Next to Kin, those are first names of our groups. And I was just driving along down the street, and my friend Royal One, he made a song, and I couldn't figure out a name. When I was just driving, I just thought of Grandfunkiest.
Okay, and then where's the Northwest game come from?
Because I'm from the Northwest, and game is just, we need to just quit playing games in this society.
And I understand there is another member who isn't here. His name is Royal One. He wasn't able to be here today, but he did collaborate on the project with you all.
Oh, yes, it is amazing. It's amazing.
Do you what do you plan to do with this recording? Is it something that you're going to sell, or is it just basically a way of grieving for Michelle?
It's all of that. It's basically the memorial to Michelle Boucree and what she stood for. I hope that the Urban League will take a listen to it, and on behalf of her students also will remember Michelle Boucree and strive harder and work harder to keep her dream alive. And that was to basically everybody to become successful from starting off at risk.
Well, it's really encouraging to have you young men in here, and because Michelle was a part of your life, it's nice to see you take it to another level, that she, even though she's gone, and her spirit is still living, and that you have decided to, put this song out. I think that that's really great. Do you have are you working on any other projects as a group?
Yes, me, Royal One, is working on OGQ and another artist in our group called Potion. We all got a group thing called Grandfunkiest. We got a CD coming out. We're going to try to get it out as soon as possible. And we got another artist, Champagne. She's got a single coming out. So we're trying to all get together and do this together. We're not trying to do it separately. So that's why Grandfunkiest is supposed to be grander than great. It's supposed to be the best that you can be.
Now, did you all write the song together, or who was the main person that wrote the words?
I wrote the words.
Dominic wrote the words?
Yes.
I went back and found some music. That would be somewhat accompanying the character that she portrayed. So I figured go back into the old days and find some music that'll capture a feeling of passion somewhat. And we just took it from there, and Royal One made it happen.
And Dominique, when Michelle was alive, did you ever discuss doing something like this with her, or is this something that just came to you?
Well, I spoke to Michelle Boucree over the phone while she was in the hospital before she died, and I told her what we were planning on doing to encourage people to give bone marrow donorship. And she had said to me, well, because she's always looked out for me. Anytime I had a problem, she was always there. When I had my breakdown, she was the first person I ran to, everything. I discussed it with her. She was like, thank you for being there for me. And I was like, you were always there for me. So I'm just doing it. It came after she died, hey, put it out and make sure she didn't die for nothing as far as her Urban League students and what she and Lori Arnold tried to accomplish at the Urban League.
And prior to, I know that when we talked to Michelle's friends, they came into the studio, and we had the opportunity to speak to her on the phone, and that was the first time that I really noticed, or it came to my forefront, about black people actually needing bone marrow transplants and being in the possibility of being a donor. Is that something that any of you were already familiar with, or was it Michelle that brought that to your life?
Familiar about that.
It was Michelle.
It was Michelle for me. I didn't, because when I was first told about it, and when I was going through the process, I was like, okay, I was trying to find out how to get it exactly for Michelle. I was looking, because, I had told them straight up, I'll do this for Lori Arnold or Michelle Boucree or my mother, you know what I'm saying? But it encouraged me after, she passed away so quickly, so soon. She was just gone too soon, to help whoever's out there, you know what I'm saying, and African Americans should definitely look into it, but it's a personal decision.
Okay, well, I tell you what, we thank you so much for coming into the studio today. We also thank you for sharing your music with us in that tribute to Michelle called BloodOath. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Grandfunkiest Northwest Game, JW the Hot Sauce, Woods, and Royal One was not here today. And we're getting ready to go to break. When we come back, we'll be talking to David McGee, who does need a bone marrow transplant, and he's looking for donors, but we'll be talking to him when we come back. But Dominique, did you have one last thing to say?
I'd like to say thank you to Pat Richardson, executive publisher at the Northwest Dispatch for printing BloodOath, and N.C. Griffith and the Strive What's Up show on Channel 29 TCI Cable for airing BloodOath, which comes on every Tuesday, 5 o'clock, and every Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Okay, thank you so much. And with that, we'll be going to break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to David McGee. Stay tuned.